Let's boil some bread. The first time I saw this, I was mind blown. I didn't know that whenever you make bagels, you have to boil them first. So let's drop all of our rainbow bagels down into this boiling hot cauldron and let them spin around for a little bit. We're gonna give them a little mix just to make it nice and easy on them. Once they puffed up a little bit, we're gonna scoop them out with a strainer and plop them off down over here. Fun fact, rainbow bagels are actually just plain bagels. They just add a little bit of color to them when they're making them at the beginning, but they don't have a special flavor or taste, aka they're just more fun. Once we've scooped out all of our bagels, we're gonna organize them and line them up in groups of 4 on each of these burlap coated boards. Did you know that each one of these bagel ovens are worth more than most sports cars? They're extremely expensive. We're just gonna slide our boards in, but make sure they're nice and spaced apart because we're gonna have to flip over our bagels in just a moment. This oven actually spins so that everything gets evenly cooked, but also so that you can add in a ton of extra things and make the best use of all the space in the oven. Once our bagels have done a couple laps around in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and flip them off the boards and then shut them back in here. While our rainbow bagels are finishing up, let's make another batch. We're making a lot more this time because we're making everything bagels, which are arguably the most popular and, in my opinion, the best bagels. We gotta make sure that we stir these up so that they get nice and separated. While our bagels once again finish boiling, we're gonna go ahead and prepare our burlap boards. These ones are gonna be a little different because we're gonna sprinkle them with everything seasoning. I was a little afraid to make a mess, but we're gonna be fine. He said just to put a bunch on there and not to worry about making a mess. Now that we've prepared our boards and our bagels are nice and boiled, let's go ahead and dump these on and organize them in rows of 4s again. Yes, these are very hot, but thankfully we have gloves on, but you still want to move quickly just so it doesn't get too hot on your fingers. Once all of our bagels are organized, we're gonna go ahead and add even more everything bagel seasoning because you can never get enough. Even though we're adding a lot and we're gonna make a giant mess, they always make sure that the flavors don't mix by sweeping out the oven in between each different kind of bagel. When you're in a new environment and there's hot things, you wanna make sure you're always paying attention. To my right, we have the giant bubbling, burning hot water inside the cauldron. And then in front of me, we have this super hot oven. So just make sure you always know where your hands are and be very careful. It may seem really chill and really calm right now, but if you're making bagels like this every day, you're not going to be doing little small batches like this. You're going to be making a lot, and you're going to be going very quick and multitasking. So you need to make sure you're always paying attention so you do not get hurt. Now that our everything bagels have taken a couple trips around in the oven, we're going to go ahead and flip these ones off the boards as well. Take the boards out, and then we're going to spray them all down and clean them up. I'm not sure if you're like me, but I didn't realize that you could be so water friendly when you're baking. Like before doing this, I would have imagined if you boiled a dough before you baked it, that it would just make it really soggy and kind of gross. But now after making some bagels, I realized that the boiling process is super important for creating the outside and the texture on the inside for a bagel. Even the boards that we use to put the bagels on when we go to bake them, those are covered in water too. We actually spray them off in between each flavor to make sure that the seasonings don't mix. But hey, don't worry. The moment you've finally been waiting for is here. We're gonna go ahead and take our rainbow bagels out. Look how beautiful and plump these things are. Bonus points if down below in the comments you can tell me what all the seasonings are inside of everything bagel seasoning. This part looks really easy, but it's a lot more difficult than you'd think. You gotta really like shove them on there without shoving them off. Thankfully, we didn't drop any of our bagels. The baking process makes them a little bit golden brown on the outside, so the colors aren't as vibrant, but if you break one open, the colors on the inside look so bright and beautiful. I don't know, what do you think? Would you eat a plain bagel if it was colorful like a rainbow? If not, it's okay because our everything bagels are ready, so you can just have one of these instead. We're gonna try to once again scoop all of these out without dropping any of them. We're going for a challenge this time. The goal is to get more than just 4 on each of our scoops. And I'm still waiting for you to tell me the ingredients for the everything bagel seasoning. I will give you a hint, there's 5 things in it. 2 seeds, 2 dried things, and 1 is salt. Now that all of our bagels are out, even though these are going to be really hot, let's go ahead and pick one up and see what they look like. And now that you're an expert,